So first things first, welcome to the Confidence Crash Course. Why don't you put into the comments where you are tuning in from, okay? So that we can start to see the fact that this is a global conversation, that wherever you are on your journey, wherever you are in terms of how you rate yourself with confidence, that you are not alone in this. We are all around the world. This is a topic that we're all interested in, and it's one that makes a huge difference in your life. People that have confidence, people that are perceived to have confidence, they make more money, they're happier. I mean, the research is absolutely positively unequivocal on this level. And so today you're going to learn the science of confidence. We're going to talk about the 3 myths and the 3 truths of confidence. I love it. We've got people, all Estonia, Chicago, Virginia, Austin, Texas, Malaysia, California, New Zealand. This is absolutely awesome. I'm so fired up that y'all are here. And we've got people post Irma, post Harvey tuning in. So wherever it is that you're watching, I'm really, really thrilled that you're here. Mandy, how do I go to the PowerPoint? Now, one of the things that you're going to realize is that I walk the talk. So everything that I teach and everything that I'm going to talk to you about today, the thing that's super cool about this, look at this, wow, I'm learning something, is that I demonstrate the principles that we talk about. So when you walk out of here, you're going to have a brand new definition of what confidence is. And you're going to have realized, thinking back to the Confidence Crash Course, that holy cow, you know, Mel Robbins and her team just demonstrated this. So is that what they're looking at?
Yep. So you can actually play it.
Let's do a slide on me.
Cool.
And and then I play it like that?
But they can see you, but you can't see them.
Okay, great. Will you check with Tracy? Yes, that's totally cool. Although I can't see the comments then.
Yeah, I'll grab the other computer right now.
Okay, yep. So we're figuring it out. And I think that's the really important thing about life is, I just touched something. Shit. Oops. Okay.
I'll be right back.
That is absolutely hilarious. So here we go. Now I know what we're starting on. You know, one of the things that I really believe in life is that, is this what they're seeing now?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it's really important not to focus on perfection. It's important to get yourself to the point where you're willing to start to throw yourself out there. And when we unpack confidence and the 3 myths around confidence, you're going to see the reason why this is the case. That confidence isn't what you think it is. You know, when I think back in my life and I think about how far I've come in terms of personal development, I used to think confidence was a feeling. I used to be the kind of person that people thought was really confident when in fact I was just bossy. You know, so we got that question about what's the difference between being cocky and confident. Well, cockiness is this assuredness that feels very arrogant. Real confidence is something else entirely. It's something that you build in here. It's a skill. And I'm going to unpack this for you so that you can understand, you know, what I'm talking about. Is this firing up right?
Yep.
So first of all, let's talk about and preview what we're going to cover today. First of all, we're going to talk about the myths and truths about confidence. We're going to walk you through the 4 traps of self-doubt, because again, when you can spot the traps of self-doubt, you will be able to beat them. And then finally, I'm going to talk to you about a super cool thing that's happening on September 20th that can help you further unlock the power of you. So here's a question I want you to think about. And here it is. If you had more confidence, whatever you think confidence is right now, if you had more confidence, how would that change? What's that?
We got to keep it there. Keep going.
But then they see the notes.
Yeah, I know. We're fixing it.
Okay.
Let's keep going.
Okay. How do I do that?
I'll do it. Keep talking. If you had more confidence.
Okay. If you had more confidence, how would your business or life change for the better? And what I want you to do is I want you to start to put that into the comments. Okay. So if you had more confidence, how would your life or business change for the better? And as you're starting to put in the comments how you think your life or business would change for the better if you had more confidence, I'm going to tell you how my life changed for the better when I finally discovered all of the things that I'm about to teach you. First of all, with greater confidence, I learned how to say no. And that's a really hard thing for a lot of us, saying no to people, saying no to things at work, saying no to opportunities. The second thing is that I developed better self-monitoring skills so that my emotions weren't always in charge of what I was doing, what I was feeling, what I was thinking. The third thing that happened is I started to make a lot more money. And finally, I also was able to feel happier because I had a sense of control that I hadn't had before in my life. And so one of the things that I want you to be thinking about, and we're going to start reading comments in just a second, is what is it? What is it that is going to change or be improved in your life if you had greater confidence? Okay, let's make this personal. You signed up for this crash course in confidence for a reason. I want you right here, right now, to shift how you're engaging in this training. I want you to get what you came for. And you're going to get a much deeper experience out of this training if you participate. So go to the comments and let's fess up. Nobody knows who the hell you are. This is where the training begins. I want to see what's wrong.
You're good. Keep going.
I am? Okay. I want to see, what are you going to get with greater confidence? What's going to happen in your life? What do you hope happens? You know, I'll tell you, I'm starting this new chapter in my business. One of the things that I hope happens with greater confidence is there's some really interesting deals that we have on the table that I know are going to get executed. I want, with greater confidence, to crush expectations, my own expectations, and how we perform when we launch these new, I can't really tell you what it is because it's not really closed yet, but when these things happen. With greater confidence, I will connect more deeply with my kids. With greater confidence, I will make some changes in my business that will help me get off the road and be more present and in the game of creating content. What about you? Let's
awesome. So here's how we're going to do it. When we go full screen, the screen goes black. So we're going to do, I took the notes out so we can just see the PowerPoint.
Okay.
So let's do this.
Cool. Let me see the comments though first. Let's see what some of the people are saying. Whoa, I don't know what's happening. I shouldn't touch anything. One of the things I've learned in life, this is why Mandy's my business partner. I don't do tech. I do talk. She does tech. How do we see the comments?
Right here.
Okay, let's go up. With greater confidence, what are we going to see? Let's put them in, everybody. This is not, when it comes,
crashing.
We're crashing. Uh-oh. Well, we're going to keep going live. We're going to keep talking. Are we?
We have too many people on the stream, people.
Do we?
Yeah.
Is that what happened? Holy cow, we have 14,000 people watching.
Something went wrong.
That's more than registered, for crying out loud. So
here we go.
Okay, we're back up again. I bet the people at what are we using?
Crowdcast.
We're using Crowdcast, and I bet they're freaking out right now because we
Facebook
told them
comments.
that there would be. So we're going to read some Facebook comments. And look, you know what's so cool about the fact that this is happening? Everybody worries about what's going to go wrong, right? You experience so much anxiety in your life, and you stop yourself from moving forward because you focus on all the shit that could go wrong. Of course we were worried that we might crash servers. Of course we were worried. What's going to happen if we can't get the PowerPoint to work? But the real magic in life is being the kind of person that is able to keep pushing forward no matter what goes down. No matter what goes down, that you're the kind of person that doesn't get rattled, that doesn't let your emotions take you off stream. And look, we've got breakdowns happening all over the place. We've got 14,000 people that are on this live stream. The stream is going in and out because there's so much demand for this content. So what? The worst case scenario is we're taping it and we'll email it out to you guys. The thing that you can develop in life, and this is what you're going to learn in this crash course on confidence, is the ability to not let breakdowns around you impact what you're doing. The ability to not let stress change how you perform. It's actually possible. When you start to practice the things that we're going to be talking about today in this crash course, you will be shocked by the level of self-monitoring that you will be able to do. That is the heart and soul of greater confidence. Mandy, read me a couple comments. A new career.
Greater ability to contribute Stop self-doubt. Help others.
Help others. Stop self-doubt. If you had more confidence in your life and your business, how would it improve? Let's hear. You'd probably make more money. You'd be happier. You'd stop torturing yourself.
I'm gonna come over here and read some of this.
Okay, awesome.
So I'm not off camera.
Awesome. Yes. You want to get a chair?
No, it's cool.
Okay.
I like standing. Letting go of negativeness.
Yep.
Negativity.
I would stop beating myself up and start thriving in my life and be closer and more present with my son. Me too. You know, self-doubt creates this distance. Stay with me. Self-doubt creates this distance.
Trying to make this work, y'all.
Self-doubt creates this distance between you and the people that you love. Self-doubt creates distance between the dreams that you have and where you are now. And so if you have greater confidence, you will be able to close the gap between where you're at and all of the things that you dream about. Now, can I do the PowerPoint, or are we not going to be able to do that?
We can do that. I think we can do the PowerPoint.
Okay, let's do this, because I want to walk you guys through this curriculum. Okay, I can talk you through it, but if we can get this PowerPoint to appear, I think it will improve your experience and it will help you take better notes. So bear with us for just a second, because there's so many people watching this.
I'm actually kind of scared to move this.
Are you?
Yeah.
For real?
I can't even refresh it. We're so stuck. Let's see.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is a good problem to have.
Let's see what happens. We'll be back.
Okay, we're going to try to go to a PowerPoint.
If one more.
I'm not going to read that because Mandy's going to handle tech. I'm not going to worry about this.
Where the heck are, like,
We're
we're in cyberspace
Are we
right
not
now.
demonstrating? Is it still streaming?
Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
Keep going.
Okay,
We're on
I'll
Facebook.
keep going. Okay, so is there a laptop that I can use to kind of walk through all this stuff? No?
No, we can grab yours.
Okay, get mine real quick. This, of course, all work. Whoops, page is unresponsive. I'm not going to hit kill.
We're live. So.
It still says we're live?
Yeah. See, look
It
at
says
us.
frozen.
Look at us here.
The broadcast ended.
Look here.
Well, we're live on Facebook. Sorry, hold 1 second. We've got 14,000 people. Do you see what's happening? Okay, now it jumped. Okay, will you give me my laptop? Thank you. And then I can walk you through this. And I'll tell you what, guys, because we're having such technical difficulties, it's your lucky day. What we're going to do when we email out the replay of this is we're also going to include some of the slides as a PDF so that you can see what we're talking about. So we've already asked you, if you had more confidence, how would your business and life change for the better? And you guys provided some absolutely incredible answers. And you're 100% right. You would be more present with your family. You would make more money. You would feel happier. You would have a sense of pride because you would see yourself moving forward. And so let's get started on this right now. You need to understand that there are 3 major myths about confidence. I want to blow your mind when it comes to even what your definition of confidence is. Because when you hear the word confidence, how do you define confidence right now? What is confidence in your mind? I'd like you to go to the comments, whether or not I can see them, go to the comments so that everybody else can see what you're doing. And write down, what is your definition of confidence? For most of us, and I know I felt this way for a long time, it was a belief in self. That is what I thought confidence was. What if I told you that that's not the definition of confidence? That may be what Webster says it is. I want you to have a new definition. I want you to understand confidence so that you can have the ability to build it and to raise it whenever you need to. So let's talk about the 3 myths. Myth number 1, confidence is a personality trait. We're back.
Wait.
See? Anything can be solved. And you want to know something amazing? Getting upset about the technology breakdowns would not fix them, would they? It would just cause me a tremendous amount of agita, and it would create a shitty webinar experience for you. So, you know, at the end of the day, what you're seeing me demonstrate is what happens when you master all the skills I'm talking about. The ability to roll with it, the ability to keep going, the ability to not let the normal emotions of feeling frustrated stop you from doing what you need to do in life. And it's very freeing when you learn how to do what I'm showing you right now. Because the old Mel would be bright red in the face. I'd be super pissed off. I would be angry at the streaming company. I'd be feeling Mandy's stress.
No, that's me. I'm the one that's angry now.
And I actually don't feel any of that, because I know that this is perhaps an even more powerful demonstration of the fact that what I'm trying to teach you actually works. So let's go back to the 3 myths, right? Myth number 1, confidence is a personality trait. That is not true. You may believe that some people were born more confident than you. It is not true that confidence is determined by personality. Not true at all. There are lots of us who are extroverted. I'm an extrovert. My husband happens to be an introvert. I would say that my husband, for many, many years, was much more confident than I was. He had a deep sense of belief in himself, and he had a lot of courage. So he was always willing to try new things. Me, on the other hand, I was extroverted, but extremely bossy and insecure. And so confidence has nothing to do with your personality. And I also want you to understand that your personality, whether you're extroverted or introverted, that has more to do with whether or not you're the kind of person that is drained by being around people or is energized by being around people. And so if you're an extrovert, it simply means that when you're around other people, it jazzes you. If you're an introvert, it drains the hell out of you. It has nothing to do with confidence. Let's move on to myth number 2 that people have about confidence. People believe that confidence is fixed. It's not fixed. It comes and it goes. You know, all you have to do is talk to a politician that's lost an election, and you know that their confidence is no longer fixed at a very high place. So one of the other mistakes that we make about confidence is we think, oh, we work on confidence, and once we feel confident, we'll always be confident. Not true. Here's the 3rd myth about confidence, that confidence starts with belief. This is the biggest myth of them all, and I don't want you to ever buy into this again. I know that there is a lot of experts and people and authors in the personal development space that are telling you that it's all about thinking positive, that it's all about your mindset. And while I am very well aware of all of the research that Carol Dweck has done about growth versus fixed mindset and how important a growth mindset is, which is this belief that through effort, you can continue to grow. Her research actually supports what I'm about to teach you. So one of the biggest mistakes that you can make is thinking that confidence begins with belief. So now let me tell you about the 3 truths about confidence. And I want you to get out a pen and I want you to write these down, okay? Number 1, confidence is a skill. Got it? Confidence is a skill. Number 2, confidence is situational. Let me say that again. Confidence is situational. And number 3, confidence begins with action. So let me tell you, let's unpack those a little bit, okay? So confidence is a skill. That's a great, great, great piece of news. And the reason why that's a great piece of news is because it means that you can do things to build it. Really great piece of news. Confidence is a skill. Second thing, confidence is situational. Understanding that there are areas of your life where you're going to be more confident and areas of your life where you're going to have to work at it, that is a very powerful realization to have, okay? Because then when you start to feel self-doubt, you're not going to freak out like you normally might. And finally, and this is the most important thing for you to understand, that confidence begins with action. Confidence begins with action. And one of the reasons why this is a really important thing for you to understand is because if confidence begins with action, you've got control over it. If confidence is something that you can build, you have the ability to grow it. And it's not just about thinking, it's about doing. I want to pause here for a second and ask Mandy a question. Yep. Can we try to bring up the PowerPoint?
Yeah, let me try.
Let's try this now. Oh, and they're also saying don't ask people to comment because it's going to load this and crash it.
Good.
And that's part of the problem is not only do we have 14,000 people on this and our provider is having bandwidth issues, but when I ask all of you at once to comment, apparently that's when things are crashing. Cool. See, we're learning.
Cool.
We're learning.
Alrighty. So we're going to pull it up, but it's going to have, I took the notes out here.
Yeah,
but let's keep it in this view.
That's fine.
To prevent the takeover.
Now, can you guys see this?
Not yet, because I haven't shared it.
Share
I want
it.
to get to
okay, great. Hold with us because I really want you to be able to see this.
Cool.
Okay.
Let's do this.
And here's the thing. Because of all these tech issues, and I'm sorry, if I told you how much planning and prep and phone calls and, we are not happy right now with Crowdcast, believe me. We have been on the phone with their founder. This is a real disappointment, and I apologize to you because I know that you've taken time out of your schedule to watch this. And so it's very disappointing for us and for you to have this many technical challenges. We will do a follow-up Facebook Live that we will let you know about so that you have a chance to interact without the crashing. We will also take this recording and we will edit out all of the BS in terms of the tech stuff and email you a clean recording, but I'm asking you to please stay with us because I know they're working behind the scenes to stabilize all of this. All right, so is this working?
Yep.
Oh, good. We can see it there. So, I want you to now see this. So let's keep this up for a minute because this is the most important thing right here.
Let's see what happens if I do this.
That confidence is a skill, not a trait. That confidence is situational. And that confidence begins with action. It doesn't look like it's changing, but that's fine.
Dane, switch over to Facebook or Mike.
Now, here's the brand new definition of confidence that I want you to have. That confidence is a decision. Confidence is the decision to try. From this point forward, I don't want you to ever think of confidence as a belief. I want you to think of confidence as a decision to try. Now, here's the next piece I want to talk about, because this is going to create a big issue for you. If I'm asking you to reconsider confidence and to embrace this idea that confidence is the decision to try, then hold on a second. Can you just let it be? If I'm asking you to reconsider confidence and to think about confidence as the decision to try, this is going to create an issue for you because I am basically pushing you to step into imposter syndrome. Now, what is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is a term that I only recently learned, but it makes a lot of sense. And I know a lot of the millennials that are watching know exactly what this is. So imposter syndrome is when you feel like you are faking your way through your accomplishments. It's when you're afraid that someone is going to find you out. It's when you believe that you haven't earned or don't deserve the successes that you have. Now, why am I talking about imposter syndrome right now? Well, it's because when you start to try things, when you embrace the idea that confidence only comes when you're willing to try, it's going to create some problems for you because I'm going to be constantly pushing you to step outside your comfort zone. I mean, we're demonstrating this right now. We had no idea what it would be like to do a live training for 14,000 people. And we are finding out and we are trying and it's not going perfect. And of course it makes us feel outside of our comfort zone, but there is no other way to build confidence. You want to know another moment in my life where I really suffered from imposter syndrome? It's right here. It was when I gave that TED Talk that many of you have seen. That TED Talk that, I gave 6 years ago when I first introduced the 5-second rule to the world. This is 1 minute into that TED Talk. This is or TEDx Talk. This is the first time that I had ever given a speech in my entire life. And you can start to see, if you look closely, that the neck rashes are starting to come out on my chest. I had a 21-minute long panic attack as I gave this thing. And I sure as hell felt like an imposter. But I was trying. And you see, it's only when you commit to trying that you will start to have breakthroughs in the skill of confidence. There is no other way. And so I also want you to start to realize that imposter syndrome is a really good thing. For those of you that are writing us questions about how do I stop feeling like a fake? How do I stop doubting myself? How do I get rid of the worries that I have or the perfectionism? There's no other way except for to try. You will never, ever, ever get rid of the feelings of self-doubt. You will never get rid of the feelings of being an imposter by thinking about it. You will only get rid of them by actually doing something. Now, is it comfortable? Of course not. But I want you to also walk out of this training with the notion that imposter syndrome is a really good thing. If you're not feeling like a fake in some area of your life, then you're not growing. If you're not trying new things in some area of your life, if you're not outside your comfort zone, then you're not growing. And so I want you to first walk out of here understanding that confidence is the willingness to try. And secondly, I want you to walk out of here embracing imposter syndrome, because without it, there is no growth. The first time you do anything, it will probably suck on some level. It will probably feel uncomfortable. And then the cool thing is the next time that you do it, it'll be a little bit better. I guarantee you, when we do a confidence crash course again, we won't have these tech issues again. But we would never have known how to do this without first trying. And that's the secret in life. I want to turn you into the kind of person that no longer stops him or herself with self-doubt. I want you to become the kind of person that's willing to put it on the line for your dreams. I want you to be the kind of person that gets to earn the amount of money and feel the level of happiness that you deserve. And it only begins when you're willing to put your ass on the line. And it's not comfortable when you do it. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that it is. What I'm going to tell you is that it's worth the work. Now, many of you also know me through the 5-second rule. And one of the reasons why the 5-second rule is such a powerful tool is because it is a tool that pushes you through the BS that stops you up here so that you will try. That's why it's so darn powerful. It's actually got a huge connection to the science of confidence. So if you want to learn more about the science of confidence, what you should Google is you should Google this word right here that's on your screen right now, confidence competency loop. Now, I'm going to press play to see if I can animate this loop because I think it's a really powerful thing for you to see.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It has to be
Do I hit escape or what do I do?
Just hit escape.
I don't want to touch it.
No worries.
Okay. It doesn't matter. Let me show you something. Maybe I can do it this way. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. See, it's just going to be confusing. Forget it. There is this tremendous amount of research about the origins of confidence. And I've got an animated loop to show you that we'll show you in a Facebook Live broadcast later. But let me explain it to you. Confidence starts with the willingness to try. Because, let's go back to what it is that you said that you wanted to improve about your life and business. I want you to think of one area of your life that you want to improve. It could be anything, okay? The greater confidence would help you improve that particular area of your life. Now, in order to improve that area of your life, you're going to have to try new things. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to break procrastination. You're going to have to beat fear. And the thing about confidence is that when you start trying, when you take some small risks, when you make some 5-second decisions, what's going to happen is you're either going to succeed or you're going to survive. And when you succeed or you survive, you always learn something. And when you learn something, you start to build a skill. And when you build a skill, you gain competency. Competency basically means that you can do something without getting emotionally rattled, that you can do something without getting afraid. I've hosted a bunch of live trainings, which is why I can continue to move forward despite the tech breakdowns. I have developed a level of competency around this so that my confidence, the skill of confidence, being willing to try to move forward, to try to push through the technology breakdowns as you're witnessing right now, that is a skill that was earned through training. The same is going to be true for you. I want to skip ahead because a lot of these animations aren't going to work. So the fact is that in 5 seconds, you can change anything, because in 5 seconds, you can change what you're thinking about, and you can change what actions you're taking. And that simple fact will change absolutely everything about your life, about your self-control, and about your confidence. Now, I asked you a question earlier. How would greater confidence improve your life or business? Now I want you to think about it this way. What are you willing to try in order to change your life or business for the better? Because now what we've done is we've swapped out the concept of confidence and we've inserted what you need to do. And see, this is another powerful thing about the definition that I'm giving you for confidence, which is the willingness to try. The old definition for most of us, which is belief in self, is all about the feelings and the belief. And that's this kind of big woo-woo topic. When we define confidence as the willingness to try, and then I insert it back into the question that I asked you in the beginning, it suddenly becomes very actionable, doesn't it? It suddenly takes it out of the conceptual and sticks it into, what do you need to do? So what are you willing to try? And, I realize that every time we do comments, we crash the server. So write down in your notebook, right there at your desk at home, what are you willing to try in order to change your business or your life for the better? Because if you can identify the actions that you need to take, guess what? I'm backing you into the formula for building the skills and competency that lead to confidence. See, remember, confidence is the decision to try. Well, guess what? That means self-doubt is the decision not to. I'm stopping because this is a big point. Self-doubt is a decision not to try. When I think about self-doubt, and I think about the periods of my life where self-doubt really plagued me, where self-doubt was the vehicle through which I made decisions. I have come up with this metaphor for what it's like when your life is ruled by self-doubt. When I have self-doubt creep in, it's almost like there is a stampede of wild horses that come running into my head. It's this dark, dusty cloud. You know how like wild horses, when they're galloping, they create this massive dust storm in their wake as they're coming? That's what self-doubt feels like for me. That I will, in my heart, know the things that I want to change. I will know the things that I want to do. But there's this dark stampede dust cloud that comes running and racing in that takes over. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Many of you know the story of how I created the 5-second rule. And it's a very simple story that everybody can relate to. And that is that when my alarm clock would go off in the morning, those wild horses of self-doubt would come charging into my head as I was laying there in bed. And literally within 5 seconds flat, I'd go from waking up and hearing the alarm to feeling all of that darkness come in. I would start thinking about all my problems. I would feel heavy. I would feel overwhelmed. This is what it's like when self-doubt takes over. And that self-doubt would just cover me. And it was self-doubt that made me hit the snooze alarm. And the reason why the 5-second rule was such a powerful tool to discover is that when I started counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it was like an interesting way to gain control. And I keep doing this because what the feeling is like when you insert yourself and you take action as self-doubt is coming in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is all it takes to push it to the side. What's interesting about counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, is it's a decision. It's a decision in a moment when self-doubt is cratering in on you. to do something different. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A decision when self-doubt is coming in like a dark cloud to actually take action, because counting is an action. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a decision at the end of the day to push self-doubt away and to try to move forward. So I want to explain to you in this part of the training the 4 traps of self-doubt. Because what happens to you and what happens to me when self-doubt comes charging in the way that it can is that it creates action. You start acting in a certain way when you feel doubtful. So just like confidence, where I took it out of the belief and the kind of conceptual and turned it into an action, which is the willingness to try, I want you to start thinking about self-doubt as actions that you're taking too. Because what happens when you have that self-doubt, that dark cloud come in, is it not only weighs you down mentally, but it actually makes you take action. What action was I taking in those mornings when self-doubt would come in? I was making a decision not to get up. I was taking action and I was hiding by hitting the snooze alarm. That's an action. So self-doubt isn't just feeling badly about yourself. It is also about the actions that you take. Because the fact is, your doubts are going to create mountains, and the positive actions that you take will move them. So I want you to think right now, before I jump into the 4 traps of self-doubt, describe on a piece of paper one area of your life that you want to improve in the next 60 days. It can be anything. In fact, I really want you to pick something that you either complain about or that you're scared of or that feels really big and overwhelming. And I want you to write it down right now. And because there are 14,000 people watching with you, I guarantee you, you're not the only one that wants to change this. You're not alone in this. Changing is hard, but you don't have to do this alone. And I find that very reassuring to know that I'm not the only one that struggles with this stuff. So describe one area of your life that you want to improve in the next 60 days. And what I want you to do as I go through the 4 traps of self-doubt is I want you to be honest with yourself. And I want you to figure out which one of these traps are you struggling with the most. And by the way, it's perfectly normal if it's all 4, because I can see myself in all 4 of these traps. Okay, good. So you've got the area of your life that you want to improve in the next 60 days. For me, I'm trying to think of something on the fly that I want to improve in the next 60 days. Definitely our technical capabilities on the webinars. But I think for me personally, the thing that I want to improve, because I don't know about you, but I find myself looking around a lot at what other people are doing in my industry and then getting very insecure about whether or not I'm doing things the right way. And so one of the things I'm going to work on in the next 60 days that would really improve my business, it would improve my life, and it sure as hell would make me a lot happier, is to have greater confidence around my own intuition in business and to catch myself when I start doubting myself as it compares to what other people in my business space are doing. So that's what I'm going to take on in the next 60 days. So now let's talk about the 4 traps of self-doubt, and let's take a look at where you are. So I want you to, as you think about the thing you want to improve, I want you to take a look at these 4 traps. Number 1, hesitating. That thing you want to improve. Are there areas where you know you need to try things, but you're hesitating? The second trap, hiding. This is a big one for me. I get really busy and then hide. Are you hiding? There are things you know you need to try in order to move forward, but you're hiding. This third one, for those of you that are very analytical or are a lawyer like me, this is a big one. You're hypercritical. This means that you find yourself arguing against yourself all the time. Or finally, are you the kind of person that you know what you want to improve, you know what you need to try in order to move forward, but you feel helpless? These are the 4 traps of self-doubt. You're hiding, you're hesitating, you're hypercritical, or you're feeling helpless. Let's unpack all 4 of these so that you can get a better understanding of what these things feel like, okay? So if you're the kind of person that is hesitating, when you're hesitating, you're actually very busy mentally. Hesitating is triggered by uncertainty. So the moment you feel uncertain, you're going to start hesitating. So if you find that you're the kind of person that is waiting, if you find that you're the kind of person that overthinks everything, if you're a perfectionist, this is the category that you fall into. Now, the thing about hesitating is that you're never going to be certain. You're never going to find the right time. And the secret is to absolutely just be able to, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, push yourself forward. Let me show you what hesitating feels like. This is a post that we got from Jessica. My business depends a lot on networking, and because of past experiences, I have trouble with connecting with people and retaining relationships. There are some people I'm really scared to call, and I know I have to call them. I get shy and nervous and even have panic attacks in group settings. I don't know where to go from here when it comes to improving my self-confidence. I believe I have a lot of leadership potential with lots of insecurities holding me back. What should I do? What should I do? I look forward to your help. I look forward to helping you. You know, the thing about hesitating is that you know what you need to do, but you get stuck up here. And when you identify this trap in terms of the trap of hesitating, what you have to understand the second that you catch yourself hesitating is that there's no other solution but to actually go for it. Hesitation in and of itself is a gigantic trap. And the longer you stay in it, the more anxious you're going to become around the things that you need to do. So what do? If you're waiting, you got to do it now. Don't do it in the next 24 hours. You got to do it now. If you're a chronic overthinker, you're not going to be able to trust yourself. One of the fastest ways to move forward is make somebody else choose what you need to do. You're going to hate this, by the way. You're absolutely going to hate this because hesitating and overthinking is a way for you to stay in control. You see, by thinking things over, you don't have to move forward. And that's how you stay in control. The second that you tell somebody option A, option B, you choose, you are going to freak out. Feeling that way is normal. Letting it stop you is a choice. If you want your work to be perfect, let me be the example. Nothing I do is perfect. I have ADD. I have dyslexia. We jump in before we're ready and we figure things out. And it is the only way that I can get things done. If I focus on things being perfect, I guarantee you there's probably spelling mistakes in these slides, along with all the other tech breakdowns that we're having. But if I were to wait until things were perfect, nothing would get done. So hesitation is a killer. It's a trap. In order to get out of it, the only answer is action. Now, what about those of you that are hiding? So you know what you want to change, but you hide. You are triggered by fear. So hiding feels different. Hesitating is very busy. You're doing a lot of thinking. Hiding, you shrink. Hiding, you avoid. So hiding is when you got people that you need to talk to, you got calls you need to make, and you're avoiding them. Hiding is when maybe the thing you want to improve in the next 60 days is your marriage. And you've been wanting to improve it for a while, but you stay silent in your marriage. You don't make requests in your marriage. You don't go to therapy in your marriage. These are all forms of hiding. If you want to grow your business and you're watching this because you want to make more money, you're in the trap of self-doubt if you are being a chicken about cold calling and being a chicken about asking for the money that you want. And the only way out of this is to take action, is to move forward. And I'm going to warn you, you're not going to feel comfortable. You're not. It never feels comfortable to push past your self-imposed limitations. I mean, look at this one. I've already struggled with self-doubt and lack of confidence. And although friends say they see me as an outgoing and successful, I feel like a facade. And that in reality, I'm cowering behind a wall, afraid to just be me and not worry about what others think or how I compare next to someone else. You can relate to this. So can I. And the other thing that you can see when you read somebody else write what we're all feeling is that, holy shit, you're not going to get out of this trap by trying to think positive. You're not going to come out behind the wall you're cowering behind by thinking your way through it. You got to actually 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 step through that wall. Action is the only solution. So if you're avoiding people or phone calls, you got to make them. If you're silent, you got to have the conversation. If you're being a chicken about money and terms, you got to ask for what you want. If you're procrastinating, you got to get to work. There is no other answer. And look, you can feel all this stuff that you're feeling. It's super normal to feel all this. Can you, you know what? Tracy's texts are coming up.
Oh, they are?
Yes. Sorry. My team cool. Is watching. It's cool. Whatever. Tracy, just know that everyone can see your text. Okay,
no,
good.
They can't see you.
Okay, cool. So Tracy's telling me that it's actually working, which is good. Here's the final one, hypercritical. This is not the final one. This is the third one, hypercritical. So I've been surprised by how many of you fall into this category. Maybe because I think that I have unique problems and I'm coming to learn that no, we all have the same problems. I am so critical of myself. I argue against myself all the time. And this is triggered by past failures. So if you're somebody that had a business and it failed, or you had a marriage and it failed, or somebody left you, or you did something embarrassing, or whatever it may be, past failures can turn you into your own worst nightmare. And so if you argue against yourself, if you focus on the reasons why you can't, if you fixate on what could go wrong, if your stress has an edge to it. So remember, hesitating is really busy up here. Hiding is like quiet back here. And hypercritical has an edge. If you have an edge to your doubt, this is the trap that you're in. Here's a good one. I feel I've been too afraid of failure to do anything with my abilities properly. And that's a complaint, right? I'm afraid of failure. So, you know, I'm just going to sit back. I'm not good enough to do anything. I'm afraid that I might lose friends. I'm afraid that this might happen. You're arguing against yourself. I've been holding myself back at the first obstacle or the first thought of, oh, well, if they've already done that, what use is my contribution to the world? You know, when we asked y'all to submit questions ahead of this training, there were a tremendous number of questions about business and looking around and seeing that other people are already doing the kind of business that you want to be in. And so you tell yourself there's no room for you. That's a form of being hypercritical. Of course there's room for you. The world is a huge place. You don't have to reach all the billions of people on the planet. You only have to reach a couple to be really successful. And the fact that other people are out there doing what you want to do is just evidence that there's a need for it. And by the way, nobody's ever going to do it the way that you would do it. So hypercritical is a place where you've got an edge, and the edge is against yourself. So one of the strategies that really works for me is breaking things down. So people that are hypercritical tend to think big picture and then argue big picture. If you were to break things down to making small moves forward every single day, you'd start to see momentum, and that would change everything. Finally, helplessness. Helplessness is triggered by low self-worth. So if you feel like nothing ever goes your way, if you think that everybody else is out to get you, if you've got every excuse in the book, and look, this may not be you, but I guarantee you, you know somebody in your life like this. You try to help them, and it's nothing but excuses. You try to talk to them, it's nothing but woe is me. The thing about helplessness is it is a learned behavior. It is also a trap. And again, just like the other 4 traps, it is only going to be fixed with action. So, you know, here's one. This is what it feels like. I'm desperately trying to become more courageous as I start a new business. Every single sales call takes so much out of me. Once I hang up, I practically collapse physically and mentally and emotionally. It takes a lot to pick up. Do you feel the heaviness of this? That is what helplessness is. That things have become so freaking heavy that you're sucked into this trap. What's amazing about when you start to understand that it's all about action is how much lighter you're going to become. when you start to see that you can move forward by taking small steps, you're going to be amazed at how this heaviness starts to lift. You're going to struggle in the beginning, but it's going to be pretty remarkable. Do we have any questions?
Yeah.
I'm sure we have a ton. So let's answer some questions.
Here's one from Eugenia and I think Jen.
Okay.
I wanted this answered by you. It says,
okay.
Imagine struggling with self-doubt. Now imagine struggling with the fact that when someone asks you, what do you want then? I don't know what the answer is.
Okay. So what do you want then? Meaning you don't know.
You have no answer to what you want. Like you're doubting yourself so much that you can't even come to a conclusion about what you want.
That sucks. That really sucks. I want you to consider something. I want you to consider that the problem isn't knowing what you want. The problem is the courage to say it. So I've been, and you may resist that, but I've been studying 3 incredible topics. And of course, we're talking about some basic concepts with confidence, but there's a really tight connection between clarity, which is what you're talking about. So when you're so trapped in self-doubt and that dark cloud comes running through, and believe me, I've been there, what's missing is clarity. Clarity about what to do next, clarity about what you want. The connection between clarity and confidence is there's this middle step, and it's courage. It's the courage to hear it. It's the courage to say, yeah, that is the next step. For me, it was simple stuff. Get the hell out of bed. Be nice to Chris. Stop drinking. Pick up the phone and start calling and networking to find a job. And then after you kind of nail clarity, which is the ability to hear your inner wisdom, and you nail courage, which is the ability to move forward even though you're scared to death, then you're in the zone of confidence. Those 2 things together, clarity and courage, they are the kids of confidence. And so I want you to consider that it's not as scary of a situation as you think it is. You're not as stuck as you think you are. You see, one of the biggest breakthroughs that I ever had is when I realized that I didn't have self-doubt. I had a habit of doubting myself. Let me say that again. I didn't have self-doubt. I had a habit of doubting myself. And what's great about that distinction, you guys, is that when you understand that self-doubt is a habit, it's a learned behavior that starts to trap you, I can teach you how to break that habit. I can teach you how to stop being the kind of person like I used to be, where self-doubt comes charging in and blankets your thoughts and controls your actions and makes you hesitate, hide, be hypercritical, and feel helpless. And I can teach you how to break that habit and actually 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, become the kind of person that isn't stopped by it. To become the kind of person that knows how to try despite how you might feel, despite how things might go wrong. And I'm demonstrating it right here. We've had so much go wrong in this live stream, for crying out loud. And have you, traveled me once or twice? Why? Well, because I've mastered the skill of confidence. I've mastered the ability to not let my emotions and not let the external bullshit that happens rattle me. And you can learn how to do that too. The fact is, changing is hard, but you don't have to go through it alone. You don't. And in fact, when you surround yourself with people like the 14,000 people, 14,000, how many? 311 people from around the world that are watching this, that are really wanting to fight for more confidence in their lives and more control over their lives and to live with greater courage, it gets easier. And frankly, this is going to sound totally screwed up. It gets fun. Changing doesn't have to be hard. It can actually be really fun when you're doing it with a really cool group of people. Let's have a couple more questions.
Will you be offering a replay?
Yes, we'll be offering a replay. We're going to email it to you. So make sure you're registered for this.
Anthony says, I'm going to come over here.
Yeah, come over here. Sorry.
Make sure the audio is good.
Yes.
Anthony says, I own my own business, but I can't pick up the phone and call clients, either with problems or looking for a business. However, put me in front of a client. I'm amazing and so confident.
So read that again, because I want you to pay attention to a particular word.
I own my own business, but I can't pick up the phone.
That's the word, can't. Anthony, that's the wrong word. You don't pick up the phone. Do you see the difference? Can't makes it sound like somehow you're physically incapable. Don't is a choice. You don't pick up the phone. And the reason why you don't pick up the phone is because you're trapped in self-doubt. You can pick up the phone. You can change the decisions that you're making. And when you do that, when you separate the trap of self-doubt from the actions that you take, you win. You see, in business, being afraid or hating cold calling, that's normal. I do too. I hate making cold calls, but you can choose to make them. Feeling what you're feeling is normal. Letting it stop you is a choice. And so I want you to first understand you don't make cold calls. It's not that you can't, it's that you don't. And so if we can change that decision, your business will grow. How about another one?
We're getting a lot of applause, so I'm looking for questions.
Okay, more questions. Give me some more questions.
Keep it up. Ooh, this is a good one.
Okay, good one. Coming over.
I've been beaten up by failures. How can I recover my energy and my enthusiasm after failure?
Okay. Well, there's a lot of different strategies that you can use related to failure. I think one of the most powerful ones is sit down and list out all the failures. So you clearly are carrying around a list mentally. I want you on paper to list out all the things that you consider failures. Then I want you to write down the one most important lesson that you learned from each one of them. You see, I have this philosophy in life, and that is that you kind of live your life in levels or chapters, and you are only able to advance to the next level or chapter of your life until you learn the lessons in the one that you're in. And you may be really stubborn. You may be somebody who has a lot of fear. Until you learn the lesson from the chapter and the phase of your life, the level of your life that you're in, you ain't going anywhere. You're going to sit and you're going to struggle. And if you want to know where the lessons are, look at the things that you're avoiding. Look at the things that you complain about. Look at the places in your life where you have drama. I guarantee you, you're in one of the traps of self-doubt. And until you embrace the lesson that's in there, and how are you going to embrace it and complete it? By taking action. The shit you're avoiding, the places where you need to find your power, that is where you need to go to work, period. And so if you're somebody that's faced a lot of failure, I want you to flip them around. I want you to identify the lesson in each one of the failures that haunt you. And then I want you to take a look at where you're at and where is all the drama in your life and go to work there. And there is an action. Look at this. Oh, this is perfect. Look at this quote, you guys. If you have a problem that can be solved with action, you don't have a problem. Think about that for a minute. If you have a problem that can be solved with action, you don't have a problem. What you have is a trap from self-doubt. And what you can do is blow it apart through action. This is why I want you to embrace this new meaning of confidence, that it's the willingness to try. I get that you feel stuck. That's why you're watching this. I get that you want more confidence, that you're sick of the self-doubt. I'm glad to hear it. I also want you to understand that you can smash self-doubt by becoming the kind of person that hears the clarity here and moves forward in the direction of it. That you're the kind of person that you can feel all this shit that we all feel. You can feel doubt, you can feel overwhelmed, you can feel fear, and you move forward anyway, because you know that feeling that stuff is normal. Hell, 14,000 people are listening to this. They're all feeling that stuff. So am I. It's normal. Listening to it, choice. Letting it stop you, a choice. And it's one you don't have to make after today. How about another one?
Here's one that a few people want you to answer.
Okay, let's go.
Stacy.
Stacy.
How do you start hearing your inner wisdom so you can gain clarity? I feel like my mind is very full. I'm not sure where to begin with making my impact. What little steps can help you begin the clarity?
Well, I'm excited to tell you that I know exactly how to do it. in just a minute, I'm going to introduce you to a couple people that are, I've got some folks in the room. Obviously, you've seen Mandy and Dane, and I have some people that I've been coaching for a while on all these principles, because it's one thing for me to talk about it, but I'd love for you to actually see some other human beings that know that it's possible. I think it's really encouraging when you see other people that can do this. But at the end of the day, clarity is this skill that's all about kind of tuning out the rest of the world in a moment and tuning in. And there's some really amazing and powerful tools, not the 5-second rules, some other ones that will fire up your inner wisdom and that will allow you to hear it. Because I'm going to tell each and every one of you right now, you know deep in your heart exactly what the right decisions are. And that for most of you, what you'll learn when I coach you is you'll learn that you have clarity. And what you'll also discover is, holy shit, it's just courage that's missing. And I'm so afraid to act on the things that I know to be true for my heart and soul that I have put myself in the trap of self-doubt. So, I'm speaking to it generally because we're going to hit it in a minute, but one of the things about inner wisdom that's kind of cool is that there's 2 nervous systems that you have. You've got the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. And when you learn how to manipulate those, you can amp up your inner clarity. And I can teach you how to do that. If you take on some new habits in the morning that are really simple, it can lower the distraction and the noise in your life, and that will amp up your connection to your inner wisdom. The super cool thing is that your inner wisdom is truly the source of power in your life. And when you discover the direct line to it, you never lose it, truly. Like, it's always right there. And so I want to assure you that you can locate it. And I want to tell you that once you do, you're going to have a startling discovery. And that is that the only thing that's missing is a teeny bit of courage. And when we give you a big push, that's not going to be a problem. What about another one?
With the slides, or are you done with those?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's get it back to you. People are saying you're too small. They want to see Mel.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Awesome. Want another question?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Let's see. A few came in. Coming back.
Negative people will just hold you back. Supportive. What do we got?
Oh, cool. What if the problem I have requires time I don't have, like studying a 600-page book for an exam in 2 days? Oh, that's very tangible.
Yes. In fact, my daughter, being a freshman in college, should probably be listening to this answer. You do have time. So there's 2 answers to your question. One is, what were you doing leading up to the test that sabotaged you to put you in a place where now you're screwed because you got 60 pages, right? So there's that piece, which is really where you need to go to work. It's the behaviors and the habits that you have in place that put you in situations that are super disempowering. And that's something that I can teach you, because what I know is you're procrastinating, which is a trap of self-doubt. And procrastination is triggered by stress, not the stress of studying, but greater stressors in your life. So when you start to gain clarity around that, procrastination can disappear. I think that what's critical for you in the next 2 days, and for those of you that are not taking an exam, this is excellent strategies for anything where you're careening towards something and you start to panic and feel uncertain. First of all, you got to go to war against your mind. So the second between now and when you take the test, that you feel your thoughts drifting to that, oh shit, I'm screwed. I'm never going to get this done. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That will not serve you. That is really going to make things difficult for you, because when worry hijacks your brain, your mind fills with cortisol, and now your prefrontal cortex cannot focus on studying. It's focused on worrying. Got it? So the second your thoughts drift to being worried about the fact that you're not in a good situation, you're going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I want you to visualize walking out of that test and taking a gigantic exhale and feeling, hey, that went better than I thought. The next thing that you're going to do, and this is for any of you that have something coming up that you're dreading or that you're avoiding, you're going to take the next 48 hours and you're going to figure out what you can do. Because the most important thing in a situation is to let go of the things that you can't control This is advice from my dear friend Hal Elrod from the Miracle Morning. Like, what are the things you cannot control? You can't control the fact that you're in this situation. Just like I can't control the fact that we've had a number of tech breakdowns, right? Let go of that shit. You can't control it. Focus on what you can control. You can control what you do in the next 48 hours. And you can also control what you're thinking about. You do those two things, plus use my trick that I love, that is backed by research at the Harvard Medical School. As you're walking into the test, you're going to be tempted to worry. I want you to say to yourself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm excited to take this test. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm excited to take this test. That's a simple little metacognition technique backed by science that will keep the cortisol from flooding your brain. It sounds stupid. It is magical how well it works, okay? So even if you're not a student, if you got a presentation coming up, if you've got a pitch coming up for your business, if you've got an IEP meeting with your kids, you know, these are strategies that you can use so that you focus on what you can control, that you maintain control over what you're thinking and feeling, and so that you utilize some of these simple strategies to have your power in place.
Awesome.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So,
by the way, I just wanted to let you know that we have 400 on Facebook and 500 on YouTube too. So there's
oh my gosh,
over
wow.
15,000.
Okay, so we have over 15,000 people watching our tech breakdown. This is amazing. At least I wore a padded bra, so we're not having any sort of like also, because it's a very cold room without getting too graphic.
Oh my God. Esther says,
yeah.
What are your techniques about not allowing what other people think impact your feelings?
Oh, can I show you guys something?
Yeah, you want me to move it?
Look, I've got a lot of people in here. And wave, everybody. So they're all thinking, I'm sure, this is a complete and colossal disaster as they're watching this. You know, how do you not, this is, I think this might be the #1 question that we get. I think so. This might be the #1 question we get. How do you not let what other people think bother you? How do you do that? I'm not going to give you the answer that most, I think, people give you, you know, that consider themselves experts, which I don't consider myself an expert. I consider myself somebody that has screwed up a tremendous amount in my life. I've started to figure things out recently, and now I'm on a mission to share them with everybody so I can save you headache and heartache, and also so that I can learn from you. And I can improve my own life. And I also find that the more I talk about these things, the better my mastery. I don't have a lock on this yet. There are things that happen to me every single day where I realize I am wrapped up in what somebody else is thinking. Every damn day. I think this is part of the struggle of being human, that there will always be people that say something that trigger you, that distract you. There will be people in your life that you want to impress. And to me, what I tend to monitor, not so much, you know, related to what other people think, it's what is happening in me. Because again, I can't control what other people think. I could do the best job of my life on a stage and the audience could think I was absolutely terrible. You can only control what you can control. You control what you're thinking about. You can control what you're doing. You can control who you hang out with. And so there's a couple of things. #1, if I catch negative emotions rise up, I am a just absolute shark about pushing them down. I do not let that shit stay inside me because it won't serve me. So if I start to get rattled because I think somebody's thinking something, or I get a snarky text, or I'm about to see somebody that I don't really like, because let's face it, you're going to have people in your life that you don't like. You're going to have people in your life that rub you the wrong way. It just is what it is. And so the secret isn't changing the dynamic, it's changing how you respond to it. So I really monitor my reaction, and I use 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to shove down all the negative feelings that come up so I maintain control. I also pay attention to who I hang out with, okay? I hang out with people that energize me. I hang out with a community a global community, believe it or not, of people that cheer for one another, because I think that that is really important and it makes a difference in my life. And I also have this simple little rule. Don't take advice or criticism from people you wouldn't trade places with. So let me say that again. Don't take advice or criticism from people you wouldn't trade places with. What does that mean? It's a simple way to remind yourself that unless you really respect and love somebody and you admire how they're living their life, why the fuck should you give a care what they think about you? Seriously. Seriously. You know, the other tip that I'll give you before we kind of transition into this thing that's happening on September 20th that I want you to know about. One of the greatest lessons of being on CNN and being on television and talking about very, very emotional breaking news stories is that, you know, the lesson is in realizing that when people react negatively to you, or people attack you, or people are rude to you, or people say no to you, it's never about you. Never, ever, ever. And, you know, when somebody responds negatively to you, 9 times out of 10, seriously, you can go to the bank on this one. There is something about the way that you behave or the way that you speak or something that you said that hits a nerve. And nerves are things that are true deep down inside. And so when somebody is rattled by you or criticizes you or says no to you or doesn't want to be in business with you or whatever the hell it may be, their negativity, their reaction, their lashing out, it's because there's something that you bring up that's unresolved for them. See, people wouldn't take the time to be nasty or rude or judgmental unless they were pushing back against something they knew that was true or something that they didn't want to have to deal with. And so the other strategy that's helped me a lot in life is actually having pity for people that react negatively. Oh, that's too bad. Wow. You've got a lot of stuff going on, you know, or like somebody cuts you off in traffic, just be like, wow, imagine what a terrible life they must have if this is how they treat other people. So sad. Do not let it get on you. Okay. All right. So let's make the turn. So I want to invite you to do something. September 20th, I am doing something absolutely freaking remarkable. It is truly the most rewarding experience of my life. I mean, short of being married and having kids, for sure the most rewarding professional experience of my life. I want to invite you on September 20th to join a global community, just like you're doing right now, but without any technology issues, okay? We want to be clear. We actually have this one locked and loaded. I want you to join a global community of people just like you that want to improve their lives, that want to cheer for other people, that want to make change fun and easy, that want to learn, that want to grow, and that want to be coached by yours truly for 60 days. That's right. September 20th. See, I don't coach people privately. You cannot hire me to coach you. You cannot hire me to be your mentor, but you can jump into a program that we only do twice a year. We do a class that we call The Power of You. Should I bring up the slide thing or no? No? Okay. We do this really super cool class called The Power of You. We did it for the first time this summer. We had 1,700 people plus from around the world join into this course. You take it as a group. I don't even want to call it a course because I take a lot of online courses. What I'm talking about is something totally different. It's a 60-day coaching experience with me that's live, that every day you're going to get a video from me in your inbox. You're going to have all kinds of cool stuff that you're learning. You're going to get to pick a project. You know that thing that you wrote down where you said in the next 60 days, what would you love to improve? Well, imagine the difference it would make if I were kicking your ass. Imagine the difference it would make if I were the one coaching you. Imagine the difference it would make if there was a global community where every day you could go to your community page, you could post about what you're doing, what you're struggling with, and people around the world would coach you. And my community managers would be in there, and I would be in there. What is it? It's called The Power of You. It is a 60-day experience. There's 2 parts to it. Part number 1, you're going to learn about the science of clarity. the science of courage, and the science of confidence. It is an online video course that includes 21 videos that you have for your entire lifetime. Once you buy the course, you got this forever. Share it with your classroom of kids that you teach, share it with your family. It is yours. Share it with your colleagues. You can come back to it whenever you want. There's a workbook that you use as a companion guide to guide you through this. We drip feed the 21 days to you. It's not a lot of work. It takes about 20 minutes a day, okay? So don't get freaked out by the fact that there's 21 videos. You can stop, you can start. I'll show up in your inbox. I'll explain what we're doing today. You'll watch the video when you got time. You'll work in your workbook. Then comes the ridiculously cool part. As a community, we are in a Facebook group where there's no selling, there's nothing but cheering and coaching and celebration. And every single day, you're going to see videos of people from around the world who are uploading videos of themselves, talking about their project, talking about their breakdowns, talking about what's going on. And you are going to experience a level of connection I didn't actually believe was possible. I really didn't. I didn't think that you could do this with an online community. But you're going to go through the course, you're going to learn all this stuff, you're going to meet all these new friends, and then what's going to happen is we're all going to start a project together. You get to pick what it is. Whatever you want. You could grow your business, you could get healthy, you could just go to war against self-doubt, you could try to cure yourself of anxiety, you could decide that you want to start painting again, you could clean out mom's house, whatever you want that would improve your life. I'm picking a project too. And so every day for 30 days, you get live videos from me. Not shit that we put online, only videos for you. I shoot them the day of. So I'm doing my project with you as I'm coaching you. You're behind the scenes with me. It is the most magical thing that I have ever done in my entire life. So you get 21 videos. You learn the science of clarity, confidence, and courage. You get a huge workbook. You get all that forever. You then get a 30-day daily live coaching program with me. You get a global community of people just like you that really want the best for you, that want to help you, that want to get on Skype with you. And there are 4 live Q&As. Now, it's one thing if I'm talking about it. So why don't I bring up Sandy real quick? I've got an alumni from the Power of You course that's here in Seattle with me. Do any of you have any questions about, what does it cost? Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's $497. Is that what we're charging for this? I mean, I probably should, there's no quantity of money that we could charge for this because I think it's such a remarkable experience. Sandy, say hi to almost 15,000 people.
So excited to be here with all of you.
Thank you for being here. So Sandy, what did you get out of the Power of You course? Tell everybody, because it's hard for me to explain what the hell this thing is.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. There's so much. I'll just start with, I was going through lots of hard stuff every year of my life and was paralyzed. I didn't have the money for this course, but I decided to take it from somewhere else. It's the best investment I ever made.
What did you get out of it?
Well, like I said, I was paralyzed. I couldn't make decisions. I felt like I couldn't get out of this pit that I was in. And now those chains are broken. I have that confidence to try. And
what's happening in your life now that you're not paralyzed? What's happening?
Well, I was going to be homeless. Now I'm renovating an Airstream
What?
trailer and learning new things about that. My daughter and I are going to travel around and
so you're making money, obviously, too.
Yeah. We're starting to. We're
Awesome.
starting to. And just getting rid of all the crud and excited about life, able to get up in the morning and just make decisions and not be afraid.
And tell people, what is this community like?
The community is amazing. It's been hard for me actually to get on the Facebook group because I want to stay there 24/7 to see what 1,700 people are doing and cheer them on and all of that. So I've had to actually limit myself with that.
It is crazy because
it's crazy, but it's so exciting. And to know that you're in a safe place where we've connected because we are all going through these same things. You know, we always feel like it's just us, but no, we're all going through the same things and cheering each other on and giving ideas and supporting. It has just been the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's not a course. It's not a course. It's just a life-changing ongoing life-changing event.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's totally worth it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sandy. All right, somebody else, come on up. We got a couple of,
The
what's it?
URL
Oh, the URL, what is the URL?
/review.
Oh, it's Mel Robbins /power of you. melrobbins.com/power. Here I am trying to get you guys to do this experience with me, and I don't even know where the hell to send you. Okay.
She just wants you to do the
We got
course.
Connie here.
Hi.
Connie. So Connie, what did you get out of the power review?
I got a lot, and I didn't expect it. I took it like last minute. I was like, I don't know. I'll give this a try. I think your personality just connected with me. You're kind of no nonsense, kind of tell it like it is. So I'll try it. And it was just more than I expected in terms of just being connected to kind of the common humanity. When you realize that everybody's kind of going through the same thing, when
Right.
everybody's kind of paralyzed by fear. And, what are you so afraid of? Just jump in.
How has it changed you?
It's changed me, but the biggest thing I think was recognizing that it was a habit. I never even thought about that concept of that procrastination and self-doubt and all of that was a habit. At first, I have to say, I'm not buying it.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
But that, once I kind of took the action and kind of got the momentum going, then that's what, convinced me. And
Awesome.
now I'm like, okay, I got to kick that habit. So when I find myself kind of doing that, I go, oh, there's the habit again, instead of like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get myself going here?
So instead of getting personal and beating yourself up and going
Yeah.
further into the trap, you actually know to take action.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Even if I
fantastic.
don't feel like it, it just kind of gets the ball rolling.
Yes, awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. That's awesome. All right, come on up, Tammy, or anybody. Come on, Holly. And see, this is the cool thing. Most courses, you kind of learn stuff and you think about it. This is a course that really sticks with you because it's experiential. Hey, Holly.
Hi, how's it
I love
going?
her flower. I love this. Okay. So what did you get out of the power review?
So the power of you, I got out of it a huge experience. When I heard you and Lewis Howes talking on, I was listening to it on my way home from work. This was 2 days before I was going to be putting in my 2-week notice from my corporate job of 14 years. And I just heard it and I was like, I need to do this. I knew I needed the community because I was getting ready to step out of a social environment of going to work every single day in
Yep.
the office.
Yep.
And that is the biggest part. Having this community to log in, much like Sandy was saying, of needing to limit yourself, it's just so empowering and exciting. And getting the pop-ups on my phone, I loved it because I got to be able to help cheer someone else on. And in turn, they were doing that for me and helping me to keep going and to get out of my own way of the fears that was limiting myself and
Yes.
being able to take that action.
And how is it out of corporate America?
So good.
Awesome.
It's
You look
so
so happy. You look so happy. That's awesome. Thank you. All right, one more. Come on up, Tammy. Because I think it's helpful to see that, look, you're not alone in this. And the really exciting aspect of this is the coaching program and the community. Hi.
So for me, my project was to work on me because I can tend to be a negative Nelly. So I'm working on that and still working on it today.
Yes, am I.
But I found you when I was on my way to a backpacking trip, and I even messaged, I think, Andy, and said, can I get my money back if this doesn't work? But I found out that you are truly an authentic person, and I could relate to everything you were teaching us.
Awesome.
And it helped me. It's helped me a lot.
What did you get out of the course?
I got out of the course, well, I have to go to some of the videos that you got because I have adult children that live with me. So I can be very quick to snap and tone. And so I call it Snapzilla. And so I've been working on that. And so there's
Snapzilla. Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of little things in the videos that you do that I have really learned.
Yeah.
And so that again is working on me.
Awesome.
And so
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here. What's interesting about all this is I was just absolutely blown away by what happens when you take a group of people. There's a lot of courses that are self-serve, but you take a community and you launch it. Just like, think about your high school class, or if you went to college, think about your college class and how connected you feel to that class. And that's part of this experience. So if you're interested, if you want to know more about the science of clarity, The Science of Confidence, The Science of Courage. If you want to get coached by me for 60 days, if you want to be part of an experience you can't get anywhere else, and if you want the magical, powerful effect of being part of a global community of people who are all on this same journey in the same class, coaching one another, cheering for one another, go to melrobbins.com/power-of-you. Once we start the class, you can't sign up because everybody's got to do it together. That is part of the magic of it. For those of you that cannot afford the price, couple things that I want you to know. We offer split pay. So you can do it in 2 separate payments. The other thing I want you to know is that there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. And so I dare you to try this because there's no risk. If there's something in you that you see something that would improve, if freaking doubting yourself, if you see the impact that it would make if you had thousands and thousands of people around the world cheering for you and inspiring you in a private community and a private group and a class, you need to try this. Just throw your hat in the ring. There's no risk. If you hate it, you'll get your money back. It's really not that big of a deal. But what is a big deal is for you to continue to stay stuck in the traps of self-doubt. And if you keep doing the same stuff, you're not going to get any kind of different result. Is there anything else that we want? Mandy wants to say something.
I just wanted to answer a couple of questions. So after this, thank you for sticking around through the tech breakdowns. We are sending the replay. This is all happening today. By the end of today, we'll download the video. It's a little long, so it's going to take a second. Download the video, send the replay. We'll resend out the ebook that I'm realizing that some of you that just jumped in didn't get to download because we were already live. So we'll send out the video, the ebook, and we'll also send out the link for those of you that are experiencing maybe backups on the website. It's working for me, but who knows? It might be clogged elsewhere.
What's backups on the what are you talking about?
Like if people aren't able to access melrobbins.com/power-of-you, there's a lot of people on the page right now. So I'm accessing it just fine.
I see. I see. Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, if you want more information about the course, I feel uncomfortable selling, frankly, when you're tuning in for this webinar, but I want you to do this course. I really do. But there is a tremendous amount of information on melrobbins.com/power-of-you. There are testimonials. There's a commercial for the course. You'll be able to preview some of the materials. You can read just loads and loads and loads of testimonials. So get a better sense of what we cover. But the real thing you need to understand is that if you really want to experience a private experience with me, you want to be coached by me, you want more of this authentic, real advice for real people, if you want to be encouraged, if you want people cheering for you, sign up for the Power of You. We do it twice a year. So yes, we will offer it again next year. For the alumni of the course, we've got many alumni that are auditing the course again, which is something you'll be able to do as well.
We had about 25 alumni sign up for the course again this morning.
Awesome. Yep. And so, you are always able to audit the course and rejoin it again. So I really want you to know, I would love to see you in it. I understand if it's not for you, but do yourself a favor and just check out melrobbins.com/power-of-you, because once that course starts September 20th, there ain't no late registrations. I don't give a shit what your story is. We want everybody to start on the exact same day. All right, how do I end this?
How do I end this?
Are there any questions? Yeah. Do you guys have any questions? No. Oh, here we go. Here's the other thing. If it sounds overwhelming because you're doing stuff in the next 60 days, it's not. Truly, it's not. This is all bite-sized little bits of information that you can do daily. If you go on vacation for a week, no problem. Come back and watch the stuff. The project, you can, every day we're going to be coaching you, but you can jump in and out and you learn a lot about yourself. So don't talk yourself out of this because you got a bunch of other stuff going on. This will help you in every area of your life. If you're hesitating, that's a trap with self-doubt. If you are hiding and this scares you, that's a trap. If you're starting to argue against why you shouldn't do it and you can't do it, that's a trap. If you're feeling helpless, like, I don't know, that's a trap. And it's time to break it. And I would love the honor of kicking your ass for the next 60 days and cheering you on and making you laugh and taking you behind the scenes in my home and along for the ride as me and thousands of people around the world discover the power of you. Any other questions? We done?
All right.
I think that's it. I love you. I really appreciate you hanging with me through the tech breakdowns. I have no idea how long it's going to take us to download this, but the second we got it and we clean it up, it'll be in your inbox.